Hello, if you're wondering what that was, that's the new Tera Echo pedal from Boss, the Boss TE-2. I'm Richard Beach from sonicstate.com/amped, and this is what we're looking at today. This is our world's exclusive first review of the Tera Echo pedal, one of 3 new pedals from Boss. So this is basically, it is billed by Boss as neither being a reverb or a delay. It's essentially a time-based effects unit that has like filters, echo, a bit of modulation by the sounds of things. So hopefully we'll get to the bottom of actually what's going on inside it and show you what it can do. Okay, so let's have a look at the front panel. Standard sort of compact Boss unit here. 4 knobs. The first one is the effects level, which just changes the amount of effect you have in your mix. And then the second is tone. So this is just the tone of the effect as well. So basically the frequencies that are coming through. And then you have feedback, which changes the repetition of the effect. And then your spread time, which is the length of the time that the effect goes on for, which is obviously separate from the feedback. Right, so we've got 2 inputs and 2 outputs as well, so you can run it in stereo if you want that expansive extra width, if that's the kind of sound you like. So in terms of describing what this sounds like, it sounds like the sort of classic, really ambient rack units that maybe companies like Eventide do, but it's kind of like a single function of that. So what you're getting is a really weird echo sound that really responds to the way that you play and that seems to have a lot of life in it as well. So I want to show you what it sounds like on Swells, because I think that is something that is immediately sort of flagged up in my mind as being what this pedal will be useful for. So I'm just going to get a little bit of distortion on the amp and get some swells on the go. Cool. So it's really, really good fun. And basically what's going on there is a lot of echo, I think, and basically a weird filtery echo effect. So things are modulating quite a lot, and I imagine there's some sort of time-based multi-tap delay going on as well. That's what it sounds like to my ears. I don't think they probably released the secret algorithm for the pedal, but you can really hear that you get that sort of Cocteau Twins vibe. Maybe stuff that you get from more modern post-rock like Sigur Rós and This Will Destroy You and bands like that. Battles as well. So it's something that is interesting and it's usable as well. Often these effects can be slightly over the top, but this is definitely a usable pedal. Okay, so a really easy way to isolate what is going on is by taking the feedback all the way down, putting the spread time all the way up, and then if I just play one note and kill it dead, this is what you get. Reminds me of the Transformers films, actually, the sound they make when they transform. So what you have is an effect that comes on, gets slightly louder, and then when it tails off, the individual blips get slightly longer as well. So when you start playing multiple notes, you can imagine all those things are sort of convalescing and doing really sort of nice shimmery things underneath what's going on. So it's actually a really simple sound, but it's kind of your playing activates the effect for you and does a lot of the work for you, which is quite useful with pedals like this. So I think to demonstrate the range of things the pedal can do, it would be probably best to first of all reel back the sound of the effect so that you're just using it as something that is going on in the background, and then use it kind of more as an effect and more as a central part of your sound. So that's what I'm going to do. First of all, set up a really sort of subtle as possible with this sort of effect. So when it sounds like that, it sort of sounds like a light reverb, something that just gives a nice bit of ambience. Turn the level up a bit more, let's give a bit more spread time and a bit more feedback. I was on the neck pickup there, so it's quite smooth. Go for something a bit more jangly on second position, which is the bridge and the middle together. So here we go. So as you can hear, there's quite a long tail on that, but if you use it like that, you can hear a lot more of the effect. It becomes a lot less like a reverb pedal and a lot more like sort of a mix between delay, reverb, some modulation going on as well. Some very sort of, you can hear, to my ears anyway, that the pitch of the notes are being slightly modulated too. And yeah, that's cool. It makes a really nice effect. But if I get rid of some of the feedback so there isn't such a long tail on it, and add in more of the level, then it sounds like this, on the same pickup setting as well. Okay, so I think it's the feedback knob that actually gives you the most control on the pedal. I would absolutely kill to have an expression pedal for the feedback. I think that would be really great because I think there's a lot you can do with actually controlling the feedback knob live as well, actually making real-time changes to it as a parameter. But it's not the end of the world that you don't have that, because it is actually, you can do that like I did earlier at the beginning of this review, just by twisting the knob manually. But that certainly makes it sound, the more you have that, the more kind of sci-fi it sounds. You reel it off, put more of the effect in, put more spread time in there, and it begins to sound more ambient. So I guess those are the two extremes in the sound that you can have. What I want to do is add another new Boss pedal into the mix, which is the Overtone Pedal, because I think they both complement each other really nicely, and I think it's relevant that they're both released at the same time, because I think they go together really well. So let's do that. I've got away from the tail off now. Okay, so basically what the multi-overtone pedal, the MO2, is doing from Boss is just adding in some overtones that basically make it sound a bit like an organ. We have a completely separate review coming for that, so you can find out all about it in that review. But I just think the two together kind of symbolize for me what direction Boss are going in with their pedals. I think both of these lead to some really interesting sounds, and you know, together, especially with the distortion as well, actually, the multi-overtone and their new distortion pedal sound great together too. You can get just some really crazy but also usable sounds. I think that's important, that, you know, these sorts of pedals are usable and that you would actually be able to use them for creative purposes, use them in a song, use them in your pedal rig. Obviously they're small pedals, so often, a lot of the time with these sorts of effects, you see slightly bigger pedals. So I think it's important that they have a small footprint. Obviously the Tera Echo is far smaller than something like the Eventide Time Factor, but the Eventide Time Factor or the Black Hole or the Eventide Reverb pedal are doing way more complicated things and have a lot more opportunity to create sort of different and varying sounds. But for what it is, which is kind of a slice of that sort of sound in a very small compact pedal, I think it's really cool. You're obviously not going to want it on your pedal board if it's not the sort of thing you usually go for. But I just imagine that maybe combined with one of Boss's delay pedals or one of their reverb pedals would be really, really interesting. Maybe get some sort of modulation effects on the go as well on top of it, and you could create something that kind of, well, it didn't even sound like a guitar, which is actually where a lot of guitar music is going now, unfortunately. But it's really creative. It gives a lot of opportunity for sort of playing around and coming up with interesting sounds. It does one function, and it does it well. So you're basically buying one sound. You're buying one thing that you can use in your guitar arsenal, rather than a pedal that does lots of different things. Like, for example, a delay will have lots of different delay times and stuff like that. But you know, you can't really vastly change the sort of the footprint of the pedal. That is its the blueprint of the pedal. That is its sound. That's what you get, and it's more your playing that changes what's going on when it comes out of the amp. So once again, we're really lucky to get such an early model of this and have a first look at it. So, but unfortunately for that reason, we don't know what the price is yet. But all compact pedals from Boss are usually generally pretty reasonably priced, and there's no reason why there shouldn't be in the same sort of price range as the delay pedals and the reverb pedals that they do. So yeah, I think I'm really impressed with that. I think it's a great new direction, like I said, for Boss to be going in, and look out for it. And if you're interested, best thing to do is go and try them for yourself when the production models come out. Probably early in 2013. All right, so thanks for watching, guys, as always, and I think I'll just play you out with some sounds. Here we go.